Welcome back, everybody, to the Yong Heng Hot Rod Shop. I'm Bill Rule, your host today, and this is going to be a quick video to go over the installation of the low pressure and high pressure seals for your GX series compressor. Hey everybody, just a real quick note. If you've purchased either low pressure seals and guides or just a low pressure seal, or a high pressure seal kit, be sure you watch this video from beginning to end so that you understand fully how to install these correctly. It's going to save you a lot of aggravation. Now we're going to hear a word from our sponsor.
Welcome to the Yong Heng Hot Rod Shop.
All right, first thing we got to do is we got to lose this cover. Bam. All right, so in order to put the low pressure seal on your piston and get it to form correctly, do not use the instructions that you might get from GX compressors because they're terrible and they don't work. In order to get this seal to form like this one that's on the pre-assembled piston that I sell, which you can get, and all the work is done for you. You literally can just take your old piston out and drop this one in. But if all you want to do is replace the seal, you're going to need to, first of all, disconnect the retaining ring down here for the wrist pin. You're going to want to get that retaining ring out of there, pull that wrist pin out, then you're going to thread an M5 screw into the top of the piston and just pull it right out. And the reason you need to pull it right out is because you have to remove the piston top completely like that. Set it aside. You'll take your old seal off, open up your package. You're going to look at this seal, and there's going to be a little bit of a dish shape to this. Not very much, just a little bit. You're going to want the dished side to go down on the top of the piston like that. You're going to take your piston top, making sure to line up the screw head with the cutout in the top of the piston, and put this back together. Now, here's the rub. You want to make sure that these screws are pretty darn tight. And I don't mean strip them out and back off a quarter. I mean just get them really good and snug so that they clamp the inner diameter of that seal. What you're going to want to do next, on a clean, smooth surface, you're going to want to start to roll that edge of the seal on that surface as you turn the seal. You're going to want to keep doing it until it's even all the way around. When you get that seal, so that edge, you basically formed this bend in the seal. I just go around with my finger after I get it to the point where I think it's pretty even. Any parts that are not formed all the way, I just go push them with my thumbs a little bit. Once you get that first bend in the seal, then when you put it back in, you'll be able to push this piston down in the bore and get that to form. The reason for this is so that you're always forming this seal to your compressor head. That way, or to your compressor cylinder. That way, this seal has its best chance of getting its best seal. As you put this back together, do use your GX cylinder lube kit and definitely lubricate this piston well. And really, you want to fill up this whole void with grease as you reassemble it. It's going to actually, as it works back and forth, it's going to continuously lubricate that cylinder. So do preform this seal before you try and put this together, otherwise it will not go well. Now, on the high pressure end, again, if you buy the piston assembly already done, you don't have to think about this. This is already together. But what I want to show you are some close-ups of how this stack goes together. And what I'm going to do right now is take a parallel ground screwdriver. Again, I really don't like tapered screwdrivers. They don't work well. This has, from the factory, if you get them pre-assembled, it already has a thread locker, like a blue thread locker on it. And there's also a spring right in the middle that is applying pressure continuously to this set of rings. And this set of rings is what I really want to focus and show you. And I'm going to take some pictures of how this whole stack goes together so that you get the order of rings correctly, because there are angles on these parts that make them expand as the pressure from the spring engages them, pushes down, so that they constantly stay sealed and keep the grease back here on the shaft, on the bulk of it anyway. Now, when you get your bag of parts for the high pressure piston, you're going to see a bunch of extra parts in this, and don't worry about them. There's an extra set of high pressure seals. There's an extra detent and an extra detent spring. You're not going to need those. The detent spring, I'll take some close-up photos of them and put them on the screen right now so that you can see the parts I'm talking about. That detent spring is a really, really tiny spring, and it's got an angled side. It's already installed in this piston, in this the end of that holds the rings, so you don't have to do anything with it. They're just spares. They also give you 2 spare high pressure rings as well that you can change. Not a problem, but I just wanted to avoid the confusion and show you what parts you're going to use and what parts you're not going to need right away. They are literally just extra spares of the parts that can wear out. So take a look at the high resolution images that are going to be on the screen right here, and you will see how these are meant to go together. So that's the high pressure one. I've shown you how to do the low pressure sealing ring. These guide rings, these are easy. They just pop on. I do recommend putting a little bit of the white cylinder grease on the underside of these guide rings when you put them in, so that the surface that contacts the piston is lubricated as well. But I want to tell you guys, I am blown away at how successful this product has been for Target Forge. You guys are buying this stuff like crazy, and I really appreciate it. And I have been on the phone every day with my friends in China to get reinforcements. We need more parts. You guys are going through them like crazy. Just one more thing on the reassembly of your high pressure piston assembly. Just put a really, really small drop of removable thread locker. Do not use a super high strength thread locker on this part. It's just not necessary. Assemble this together, and you can screw this all the way down until you feel the thread bottom out. There's a step machined in this part to register the ring assembly to the rod shaft. Just bring it all the way down until you feel that just start to snug up. You don't need to crush it. Just get it until it just goes and stops, and that's good. If you really want to make sure that you did this right and that your length is correct on the piston, you can take a pair of calipers, zeroed and set to millimeters, and just verify that the free length of this piston assembly is 141 millimeters. Should be really close to that when you put it together. I love that we're keeping these compressors going and keeping good air going into our really nice PCP air guns. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we're going to be back with more exciting stuff here out of the Young Heng Hot Rod Shop. Remember, be a light in the darkness. Peace, friends.